Sport is superstition, science, family, drama, love, theatre. It's everything. And that's why we've made a betting brand for sports fans. Download the Better app today. That's better. What are you really gambling with?
The big calls are even bigger in the playoffs, so let's put our experts to the test. We're in the cut and thrust of the playoffs, boys, so I'm after your updated series picks today. James, I'm going to start with you. The Nuggets and the Wolves series, where's it headed?
Where's this headed? Cancun. 1, 2, 3, Cancun for the Wolves. Pack her up, boys. Seriously, they just better check that they've got their tickets booked for after Game 4. Just make sure the flights are all in order, the hotel's all sorted, got your pool cabanas all booked out, away you go. This Wolves team were an embarrassment in Game 1. This Nuggets team is absolutely dominating at home. But more importantly, I think it's just we've just sort of seen the limitations of this Minnesota team on defense without Naz Reid, without their McDaniels. It just gets really, really tough to slow down a team that's as dominant as Denver. This is 4-0, 4-1 easy. A gentleman's sweep if they're feeling nice.
I'm not even sure it's a gentleman's sweep. It just... Game 1, 29-point margin. It just smacks of a clean sweep, unfortunately.
All right, Jack, you have the 76ers and the Nets, and as we expected, Philly has taken the lead. Can you see the Nets turning it around?
Yeah, and as we expected and we spoke about, Joel Embiid, an enormous problem, a big, big problem. They have no answer for him at this stage. James Harden is playing team basketball, which we haven't always said in the past as well. Tyrese Maxey was great. This is it from a Nets point of view, James. They've got to win Game 3. Otherwise, this is headed down the path of being a sweep as well.
100%. Embiid has been good. He hasn't been dominating yet. No. So I expect two things for the rest of this series. I expect one game where the Nets hit every three they take and they win that game. And I expect Embiid to just go, what's that over there? Oh, it's a 45-point game on your head. Boom, off you go. He's going to be awesome in one of these just because they've got Claxton. They've been throwing double teams. A lot of the switching. It's looked really, really, really solid defensive basketball from Brooklyn. They just can't keep up on offense. With Spencer Dinwiddie really struggling in this series. It's literally like Cam Johnson has been bombing threes. Mikal Bridges, hello. He's been okay as well, but he hasn't stepped up and had that 40-point superstar game yet. And this was the thing going to this series. There'd always be one dude, whether it be Harden or Maxey, that you just can't contain on the perimeter. And we've seen that writ large. Harden goes off in Game 1. You have Maxey go off in Game 2. I still think this is a gentleman's sweep. Look, Brooklyn have been 24th in offense after the All-Star break. It's just not good enough to keep up with a team as good as Philly. I'd expect Brooklyn to show up one time in the borough. It might be down 3-0, but I reckon one of those games will have a bunch of threes. They get over the hump right there in one of those, and then Philly closes out at home in Game 5.
All right, now, James, finally the Celtics have gone 2-0 against the Hawks, and you'd expect them just to put the Hawks away from you.
Put them out of their misery, I think, Dicko, is the vibe. This Hawks team is... pretty bad. That's basically how it comes down to it. But seriously, we talked about this again last week. It's the matchup. It's always the matchup with this Hawks team. This is the worst possible matchup they could have gotten in the first round. You got two smaller guards in Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, Jack. They're really good. Apart from when they're matched up against the Celtics of Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, El Presidente, and of course, Derek White, who's having the series of his life.
I am here for playoffs, Derek White, James. I am here for it.
He is so good, and they've got size, so you can't dominate them on the boards. And you got the wing dudes of Tatum and Brown who are just going to dominate. Jack, this is going to be a sweep, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And this is, of all of the three that we've spoken about, I think this is the one that's the 4-0 sweep. And probably as we expected, this Celtics team is going places. I'm not going out on a limb by saying that. We know that they're a very, very good team, but I think from what we've seen so far, it's all happening for them at the right time.
Do you trade Trae Young this offseason? Do you try to build around DeJounte Murray? What do you reckon, Jack?
It's a very, very big call. I know this is the big call. I would keep him. I think they've got to do some more work about the pieces around those two. I think that's where they've been exposed.
It's the perimeter talent for me.
It is.
I think it's like you give Quinn Snyder one more year with Trae Young, DeJounte Murray. They had a couple of really good young dudes, Jalen Johnson, AJ Griffin. These sorts of dudes, it's like let them just have one more year with a real proper coach, real system, real offseason. Give it a crack. So you'll hear a lot of calls for Trae Young to be traded this offseason. I think just, push the brakes on that one. But they're going to get killed in this series, don't get me wrong.
All right, that was a playoffs edition of The Big Call. Thank you, Jack, and thank you, James. The playoffs have certainly got your energy up. You're up and about, you're screaming, you're shouting, you got zingers going left, right, and centre. Outstanding work from you guys.
Nothing better at this time, I'll tell you that much, Dicko.
All right, remember to subscribe below and follow us on socials. Enjoy all the playoffs action, and we'll see you next week.
The betting brand for sports fans. That's better. Chances are you're about to lose.